talk about Tesla because it's the most hottest thing going on. Tesla's mission statement is to design and sell high performance, highly efficient electric sports car with no compromises. Tesla Motors car combines style, acceleration, and handling with advanced technologies that make them among the quickest and the most energy efficient car on the road. Now, the vision statement is to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles. And I gotta say, I think he's done a great success, guys. So, for me, when I was like 2010 Jinri first heard of Tesla and they were like, we're finding people to work for Tesla, I was just like, oh. For me, I thought Tesla was just like a US sports car. Maybe I think I've heard something along the lines of it's environmentally friendly, but not sure of that. Let's see their details. Now, as you guys know, these two guys, you probably expected Elon Musk, and you're kind of like, okay, who are these guys? Why are you showing me them? Surprisingly, Tesla did not start with Elon Musk. It actually started by these two engineers named Mark Tarpenning and Martin Eberhard. So they were both entrepreneurs who actually launched a bunch of startup companies. And I actually brought their LinkedIn and look how long they have done startup companies. This is actually their profile on LinkedIn. Super long. And so they've done a bunch of other projects. One of the things that kind of stood out was their Nouveau Media, which is a rocket book that was actually sold to Gemster of $187 million deal. But by the way, they were really interested in electric cars. So their goal was to actually look for a sports car that was environmentally friendly because of the global warming at this time in 2003. So at the time, the only car that was technically like an electric-ish car was Toyota Prius hybrid electric vehicle, which is this. And then, they looked at the other ones and they were able to find this car called T0 from El Kokuni. Voila. And the specs on this car was that they ran 60 miles within 4.1 seconds, powered by lead acid batteries, limiting range to 60 miles between chargers. And at this time, they were like, I think we can build cars better. You know what? I can build a car so much better. So they got the Tesla Motors. Tesla was named after Nikola Tesla, who is an inventor of AC electrical system. It's this guy. And Martin became the CEO and Mark was the CFO. Now, let's talk about Elon. I think we kind of miss Elon Musk. So Elon actually grew up in South Africa. Then he immigrated to Canada when he was 17. Came to US as a transfer student at the University of Pennsylvania. He actually got accepted to Stanford, but he was like, screw Stanford, because he's launching his first business, Zip2. Some of the companies that he was relevant was these. Zip2, which is a city search web portal. Never heard of it, but sounds great. He actually developed the financial payment system on PayPal. He also actually developed SpaceX before working with Tesla, which you guys know SpaceX, which is to develop reusable rockets. And fun story about SpaceX is that it was his like big idea to make the space travel cheaper so that people actually could get off Earth and move to other planets. So, you know, hopefully we'll get to Mars and everything. We had that like big explosion thing too. You guys saw the videos. And also Solar City, which is, as you guys know, a solar panel company that his cousins worked on, that works with energy storage and other like environmentally friendly. Now, one funny story about Elon Musk is that you guys know this guy, right? Tony Stark. I thought this was kind of funny, so I brought this. I brought this before we talked about Tesla, but as you mentioned, Tony Stark was actually inspired from Elon Musk, so a lot of his image was from Elon, which I thought that was cute and was cool, and I didn't know that Elon was, it's actually a thing. His like assertive style and astonishing record of high-tech entrepreneurship made him inspirational portraying of Tony Stark. So how they started working together was 2004. Elon actually heard of the T0 from a CTO, but the owner of T0 was like, I'm not giving you, even if you give me a Porsche, I'm just going to be like, screw you. So he actually introduced him to Martin. And they actually had a 2-hour meeting where, Elon was like, dude, I'll fund you with like a $6.3 million. And their conversation was, he was like, yeah, give me 6.3. And then he was like, then give me the car I want. And then Elon goes, okay, I become chairman and you are CEO. We're all good. So Elon actually became the chairman of the board of director. And he actually got help from Google. And at this time, this was a perfect timing to start an electric vehicle because of gas prices and global warming at this time. Now, one thing that happened in 2007 is that the CEO actually changed to Jiv Drori. That meant that both the co-founders stepped down from their position and actually just became the member of the company advisory board. And they had like 2 different CEOs at the time. But at the end of November. And then here's the thing. Elon and Martin didn't get along. Funny quotes from both sides where Martin goes, I should have been more careful. I should have not let Musk take control of the board. I had no issues with Tesla Motors as a company. I do have problems with Elon and the way he treats people. Now, Musk, on the other hand, goes like this. I was too busy trying to fix the fucking mess he left. I haven't had time to tell my stories. I will say, I have never met someone who is as capable of creating such a disinformation campaign as Martin. They hate each other. Now, why they hate each other? They missed deadlines. One was like, oh, I'm going to create this project. And the other, without telling each other, they were like disapproving, firing people that Martin brought from Detroit, like PR firms. And Musk was actually like, dude, I don't want to spend money on marketing. We got to finish the car before we do stuff. And they were like fighting each other and then, bah. But Musk actually spent way much more money on Tesla and had so many connections helping out with Tesla. So what happened was, Martin basically got kicked out. Now, this is kind of the story with 2, but in 2019, I thought this was funny where actually Martin accused of suing Musk, of rewriting history and suing him for libel. Because Musk was blaming him in so many interviews, the delay problem or the financial issue. He wasn't listening to me. He didn't do anything. All these issues. So they actually sued each other and they ended up hating each other. But you know what? He actually dropped his suit in September. So this was just kind of a side fun thing. So big success from Tesla was 2008. Their first car of Tesla Roadster. Perfect score of 4 out of 5. Spec on this, 400 volts of electric potential. They were run by lithium-ion batteries and a very nice silicon transistors, 225 to 250 miles on a single charge. Not bad. To compare this car with another thing was Porsche 911 Turbo. That Porsche actually cost $126,200. So both of them were in the expensive side. One thing with this car was, it's really powerful battery. You could keep it on the road. You could get it up to 250 miles on a single charge. But the problem was it's too expensive for a lot of people. That only 1,063 Roadster was sold. And another issue was that the charging time was 2 days. It could get up to 2 days. It was a day or 2. So You drive the first day, you had to take the bus the second day. Fun videos I brought, videos of how this car looked like. And then this I thought was interesting because it was Porsche versus Roadster. And the result actually came out where Tesla was doing much better than Porsche. And you would think that that was a very sexy car and Tesla's doing fine. But honestly, Tesla was actually having financial crisis at this time. So why didn't we buy Tesla stock at this point? I don't know. The article quoted that the global financial system has gone through the worst crisis since the Great Depression at the time also. And company has less than 10 million in cash of hand at this time. So sad. So he had to push back a lot of dates of like Model S to 2012. The biggest thing was production, you know. He had so much nice car technology, but he needed places to build. So in 2010, what Tesla did was purchase NUMMI, NUMMI, which is a plant in California. It's the history of this automobile manufacturing company is that it was actually jointly owned by General Motors and Toyota back in 1984, but they actually closed in 2010. So Tesla took over the whole company and they started to actually have somewhere that they can like manufacture their car, their own property of manufacturing cars. And a couple of months later, they did their IPO, and what's shocking at this time was it was a first U.S. car company to be public since Ford back in 1956. So great job, Tesla. The initial price was $14 to $16, guys. $14 to $16. Why he needed, like I said, not only they were in debt, but he needed to expand the Model S. They had the ideas and everything, but they needed to produce at least 20,000 Model S sedans annually. So they really needed money. IPO. Help us. So at the time, you know, a lot of supporters came. They had this person who's a president of CEO of Daimler AG. And this place actually is a globally leading producer of like passenger cars. One of the well-known things that they are in charge of is Benz. I think this is a German company. And then also Toyota signed with Tesla. And finally, there was a loan from US Department of Energy. So actually Tesla was getting a lot of support. And so that resulted in Tesla raising up to $226 million. Anyway, so in 2012, 2 years later, Model S came. Actually, like I said, was developed in 2009-ish roughly, but the official like release date was 2012 when they actually had the money to do it. Some sexy story about Model S is they wanted to introduce actually a less expensive car to attract, you know, a high volume of sale because, like I said, Roadster was too expensive. So, this is apparently an all-electric sedan ranging up to 300 miles per charge. So they produced a cost of $500 million, which was funny, but, you know, government paid for it. So it's really good that they had this background idea of environment friendly because they were getting so much support from everywhere because, like I said, such a big issue that every place needed to solve, and Tesla was like that one company that was being like, we need to save the earth, guys. So some of the competitors, if you want to compare, was the BMW 5 Series, $57,000. And at this time, what was really cool is that this car was the start of the autopilot, which, as you guys know, is the driving system without assistant from driver. So basically hands-free driving. So in May of 2012, people did think they actually got 10,000 reservation to buy Model S. So it was a pretty hot issue. Like 10,000 went to Europe, 5,000 went to Asia, perfectly fine. And 2013, a year later, they outsold their company. Model S, super great thing is to get to like 60 miles, it took them 6 seconds, guys. Isn't that crazy? It's like, holy cow. Like, some of the cars out there, to do that, it'll take them at least like 10, 15 seconds. 6 seconds, guys. You just press on it and it just flies. So I brought you another car clip.
It does 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds.
Not only did they get Model S at the time, but here's an issue. It's an electric car, guys. Electric car. What do we need when we get an electric car? A charging station. Don't you think so? So, Tesla provided free charging for $100,000, right? So they actually launched a supercharger network with 6 charging stations across California. So basically, a lot of Model S owners can charge their cars for free. So each, actually, good question for Shooter, because each of the superchargers were actually powered by solar carport system developed by where? Solar City. Makes sense, right? Solar. So that was actually to generate more energy. And, you know, that's out there. So it's apparently supposed to look like this. Now they have 2 cars. They really need more factories. So what happened in 2014 was the Gigafactory 1. They actually created a lithium-ion battery factory near Nevada with Panasonic. Kind of funny side story was how Nevada was picked is, you know, they were actually deciding from Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, and Nevada. And so the state in the Nevada state actually offered them so much like incentive package. Tesla could use nearly $1.3 billion in tax benefits for building. So that's why they picked Nevada. So basically at this time, they were building batteries for the Model 3 sedan and the energy storing units for the solar business. So not only did they do the battery, but also other things. So the battery price actually went down 30%, which is also great. Other things that was being built was, like I said, for the solar business, the Powerwall, which is for consumers to store solar energies at home, and Power Pack energy storage device. So a lot of energy device issues that they wanted to solve was happening in Gigafactory. Now, in 2015, another car model X came out, which is another sexy-ishy kind of model. It's supposed to be a high-end sports utility vehicle seating of 7. At this point, going up to 250 miles. And some unique feature of this car was their distinctive gull wing doors. And and their windshield was supposed to be very, very long. At the time, they thought that the gull wing doors was going to work. So people were getting mixed reviews. They were like, you know, it's too firm, too choppy. And like, I don't know if I really like this wing door. It's like really cool in movies, but you know, not here. And at this time, you know, Musk with his talking skills actually surprised a lot of investors by announcing plans of 2 years ahead of schedule. You know, they were like, in 2 years, like 2018, we're going to build like 500,000 vehicles, you know, 6 times more production in 2016, you know, and by 2020, 1 million vehicles. So at this time, he was so good at making things like big. We never know if that was actually going to be possible, but his words are like magic. It's going to work. It's supposed to work. And we talked about Model 3. We've been talking about cars, but a lot of Tesla cars came out. And unique thing to notice is that it's almost been like every year or every other year that the car's been coming out. So they've been actually doing like their best to try to get new cars out. But at this time, Model 3, mid-size all-electric 4-door sedan. As likely being affordable, this car was technically supposed to be affordable for a lot of people. And they were going to promise a 500,000 cars, but you know, there's always a problem, such as the bottleneck or the health, so you never know if that's going to be possible. And a lot of people did say that this car was better than General Motors or Ford. Now, kind of moving away from Tesla cars is not only do they do cars, but Elon has Solar Cities. I got a lot of money from Tesla car We'll help you with Solar City. We're gonna get something possible. And what they did was they scaled their battery and solar energy operations in Solar City, and they did a long-term investment. And they did a lot of interesting thing as the rooftop where they can collect the solar energy, such as something like that. And also fun, interesting side story is that Tesla also is getting a Pacific island for their solar like battery storage problem. This is in the American Samoan island of Tau, a population of 600. And technically, their goal is to convert the solar energy that they get to 100% renewable energy. Why this is good? Because, like the typical issues of risk of sea level rise and then the new outbreak of climate-related disease, so we're trying to get this perfectly fine. But what sucks is that it's an island. There's a lot of power outage, so that can work. And guys, if a big cloud goes over, the solar energy drops. Surprise! So, was that a good deal? I'm not sure. But it's a very nice place, so if you guys want to go, it's actually right here. So that's apparently how it's supposed to look like on the top, with all the solar panels like collecting energy as a renewable energy. And here's a video. Now in 2017, kind of a big thing happened where Tencent invested in Tesla. So they invested $1.8 billion, which is 5% of the company. Tencent at the time is, everyone knows Tencent. For example, they have like the largest video games, League of Legends, QQ. During 2020, when I did this presentation, we were at $528.16. And people go, Tesla stock is out of this world. It's above the world. It's up 114% this year. Well, and at this time I was like, Tesla, they're going to, Elon was like giving a lot of hints through Twitter. They were like considering taking Tesla private at 420 and taking all these sorts on Twitter. So one thing that I found funny is that people actually decided to sue Tesla. More like Elon Musk. Of all the false and misleading statements to investors. This was actually in 2018. And later, Musk had to settle down with SEC for $20 million and stepped down actually from the chairman of Tesla, which, it's kind of like, So they were like, okay, you need to chill, like all these words. So I actually looked up Elon's Twitter and see what he wrote. Gotta say, he's like, Tesla made 0 cars in 2011, but we'll make 500K in 2019. 4,000 cars loaded in San Francisco for Europe. All these like hints of, guys, guys, come on. Another cool thing that was supposed to happen, and I think it did happen in Tesla in 2020, was the Model Y, as you guys know, which is an SUV. I know I forgot your favorite truck of Tesla, but I was too ugly to put it on my PowerPoint. I was like, screw you, truck. But, they expected this to be much better model. They also got a nice fancy looking app for Tesla cars, which I don't know, it's pretty cool. Probably all that like $10,000 technology probably related to the app. And as you guys know, the next battery to power up electric vehicles, so much better battery. Now, what year are we in? 2021. I looked at it here. Guys, March was here. Where are we now? Like, are you joking me? Literally, I did my review here. Here. This downfall. Here. Wow. And so, you know what? On Google, I literally searched, why is Tesla stock so big? Or why Tesla stock increased. I got an article. I was like, up 8 times. What really changed for Tesla stock in 2020? And, the article goes, Tesla entered, the SUV market and it expects to grow at their biggest. I don't know. You think Model Y really helped out? And the article goes about how, the regulatory credit sales, or how the Biden administration of the policy goal was for the clean energy. So maybe politics had to do something with it. And then they got the Chinese money, so Tencent, and they ended up, they actually got a production in Shanghai. And, Tesla's revenue from China grew 90% over the first 9 months of 2020. And, they're actually getting more facilities in Germany and Texas. So, yeah, that definitely brought up that 8 times. Also, they were improving software capabilities. So, how, it got up to $8,000 from $7,000. And then, now it's at total of 10K. Along with, finally, the article ends with battery advancement. They are the most leading batteries out there. It's really helpful. So invest in Tesla. Great job, Tesla. Great job, Elon. Hope you really help the world by being environmentally friendly with cars, houses. So that's all. Thank you, guys.